All right. What up? What up, fellas? Danny's just taking a shower. He said he'll be in here shortly. I'll hold down the fort until he gets back, though. Rendon, first one in the chat. Good to see you. Said, let's go. My fave boys. Love you too, Rendon. Javon said, yo, what's up, boys? Just boy right now, but doing good, doing good. I didn't have the greatest week in fantasy this week. I'm currently need two miracles right now in some of my leagues. I know I need 50 points right now out of Justin Herbert and Bryan Edwards. It's a 6-point per passing touchdown league with big play bonuses, so it's possible, but it's probably a long shot. And then in another one of my leagues, I also need I need Darren Waller to outscore Kenyon Drake by 19. And it's a full PPR, big play bonuses. So, I mean, it's possible, but probably not likely. So, very good chance that I go 0-3 in my redraft leagues this week. And I think I went 2-2 in Dynasty. So, not bad, but 1-0 in the Listener Dynasty League, which is the one that I care the most about. So, not a bad week overall. Trey Lance time. Let's fucking go. Yeah. I believe there was a report that came out today that Jimmy Garoppolo, if he's able to play, and it sounds like he has a chance to play based on the calf injury that he sustained, apparently he's going to be the starter. Like Kyle Shanahan's not going to just give the job to Trey Lance if Jimmy G is ready to go. So we'll have to monitor that situation before we go and blow a bunch of fab bucks on Trey Lance or something like that. But if Trey Lance does start, I mean, you guys know we were hyping this guy up all offseason, all dynasty season for a reason. It's because the guy can run, and he also has a big arm and he has a lot of weapons around him. So I think if there's a chance that a rookie quarterback does what Justin Herbert did last year, it's probably not going to be Fields. It's probably not going to be Wilson. It's probably not going to be Lawrence. It's probably not going to be Mac Jones because we've already seen those guys in action. They don't look like what Justin Herbert looked like last year. There's a chance that Trey Lance could look like that if he gets the starting job. So definitely going to be a big time waiver target if we hear that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be out. Javon says, hey, do you think Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen will have a monster game? Same with Derek Carr. I have all three of those players in my 10-man league. Austin Eckler, I think he's probably going to have a big game in this one. The Raiders' front has actually been pretty good at getting pressure, so there's a good chance that Justin Herbert has to dump it off to Austin Eckler quite a bit when he's going through his progressions. I think Keenan Allen, of the two Chargers wide receivers, if you said which wide receiver would you prefer for the Chargers for like a DFS lineup or something, I'd probably roll with Keenan Allen over Mike Williams just because the matchup is a little bit more tough on Mike Williams going up against probably either Casey Hayward or Trayvon Mullen. Either way, those guys are both physical corners. So I think they can somewhat handle Mike Williams, but I mean, that guy's pretty much made me look stupid also all this season so far. Dawson Knox, top 12 tight end rest of season. Oh man, top 12 is it's not hard to be a top 12 tight end. So maybe I would say he's got a decent chance to. He's definitely running a lot of routes. He's definitely involved in the offense and he's involved in the red zone. So top 12 tight end, I mean, he might be there. Honestly, he might be right at that fringe top 12 range going forward for me. We're going to do rest of season rankings and talk about guys like Dawson Knox who've clearly outperformed where they were drafted and what our expectations were, because I didn't expect Dawson Knox to really be anything. I kind of expected him to just kind of fall into place, have a good week here and there, and that's pretty much it. But he's been pretty good so far. Justin says, yo, what's up, not Josh. Not Justin, Josh. Javon said, I did amazing. I got 155.8. Yeah, that's definitely a pretty high score there. I'm ahead by 5. I have Herbert, and he has Mike Williams. Will I win? Williams has outscored Herbert twice. See, that's a little sketchy because you have what is kind of like his number one target, especially like in the red zone lately. And the guy that if he has a big play, it's probably going to be to Mike Williams. So you got to hope that, I think, Brock, in your case, you need to hope that Justin Herbert rushes a touchdown in or something like that, because that way, he obviously doesn't get any points to Mike Williams. I think you're probably safe, I would say, but it's probably like a 60-40% chance that you win. Cordarrelle Patterson, goddamn. Yeah. Cordarrelle Patterson. I literally traded the guy away in my home league for Nelson Aguilar, thinking that, I need Nelson Aguilar this week. He's going to have a big week with the Bucs secondary completely banged up. And the premise of that was right. And Cordarrelle Patterson's usage went down from previous weeks, 30% of the snaps. He just happened to score 35 fantasy points. I don't know how the hell he did it on that little of a snap share, but they used him anytime he was on the field. So Cordarrelle Patterson, if you have him on your team, sell him high because he's he's getting, quite frankly, he's just getting lucky. Like, I think that's pretty much what's happening with Cordarrelle Patterson. I don't expect him to continue this like rampage of fantasy production that he's on right now. I think he's probably going to fall off at some point. So if you can get anybody in your league to buy into him being like a mid-tier running back 2, even, like, I think you could probably get RB2 value for Cordarrelle Patterson in a trade right now. I think there's going to be people out there that believe in Cordarrelle Patterson.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, Danny just comes in out of nowhere. I'm trying to find the thing. There, you got it. Nice. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Do I accept Melvin Gordon and Jerry Jeudy for Jamal Williams and Curtis Samuel? Yeah. Yeah, I would prefer Melvin Gordon to Jamal Williams, and I would prefer Jerry Jeudy to Curtis Samuel. So yeah, I would take that trade for sure. It sounds like Jerry Judy's probably going to be back practicing this week. Maybe not necessarily back in the game, like playing games, but I think he'll probably return to practice this week and then probably be back in week 6, if I had to guess. Bush, would you trade JT and Higgins for Swift? I probably wouldn't be trading Higgins right now, just because he's missed the last 2 weeks. He's kind of out of sight, out of mind for people. But this guy is wide receiver, I think 18 in points per game right now, even though he's only played 2 games. He's a guy that's gotten, I think it was 8 targets and 10 targets in the 2 games that he's played. So I'm not really willing to trade away Higgins right now. I think at face value, that's not a horrible trade because I really value Swift to Jonathan Taylor, like over Jonathan Taylor and T. Higgins, but I think I would probably wait to. I think you might be able to get a better running back with that package.
Yeah, that or see if you can package it with like Marvin Jones Jr. instead, or someone like that. Like maybe somebody buys, DJ Chark out for the year. Maybe Marvin Jones could be like a wide receiver 2 rest of the year. That's the type of piece you can package in this type of deal.
Yeah, I still think Higgins of these, and one like common theme that we've kind of seen thus far this season is these second-year wide receivers. They're taking a little bit of time. Like Justin Jefferson's the only second-year wide receiver right now that is currently in the top 24 in fantasy scoring. CeeDee Lamb's outside of it. Henry Ruggs is actually the 3rd highest scoring second-year wide receiver, and he hasn't even played tonight. So he might even surpass CeeDee Lamb in scoring, which will make my take look a little bit better pre-draft. But like T. Higgins has been injured, Claypool's been injured, Judy's been injured. Like all these guys, Brandon Ayuk's been in the doghouse for for 2 games at least. So hopefully these second-year wide receivers are going to prove to be a lot better than they've been thus far, because I had a lot invested in those guys. I know you had a lot invested in those guys in underdog drafts and stuff like that. And in my leagues, I have 3 of them on my team. I have Higgins, Claypool, and Ayuk on my home league team.
I still don't understand Ayuk, man. Like, it's just bothering me.
Yeah, I hope this, if Trey Lance is going to start, maybe that, revitalizes Ayuk a little bit, because we did hear a lot about them working together in the offseason and having a good connection. And that's really when the buzz was happening with Lance, was all Ayuk was like the byproduct of it. So hopefully Ayuk can get back to being the guy, and maybe Debo is just Jimmy's guy or something like that. But I can't deny the fact, like, I'm wrong. You were wrong. Like, Debo's the number 1 on this team. Like, I'll admit that right now. It's not Brandon Ayuk number 1 on this team. If Brandon Ayuk can still be a wide receiver 3, maybe a wide receiver 2 in fantasy, but until I see otherwise, it's Debo Samuel's show in this offense. And I'm a little worried about Kittle, frankly, too. Yeah. So Andy Moss says, traded Mike Williams and Will Fuller for Scary Terry and Sutton. I would say that's a good trade. I think Mike Williams is at his like apex value right now. And it's probably a conversation, Mike Williams versus Scary Terry rest of the season. Maybe you would even take Mike Williams, given the fact that the Chargers are running so many plays and they're passing the ball in neutral game scripts like crazy. I'd imagine we're going to see another fairly decent sized Mike Williams game again tonight. I have him in no DFS lineups right now, and I'm probably going to have to rectify that at some point during this call because I think he's going to burn me again. I have a gut feeling that he's going to do that if I don't. So who would you play if you had to pick one of these wide receivers? Because on DraftKings, you can't afford both of these guys. If you're going to play one of these wide receivers, which one do you play?
I take Mike Williams over Keenan this week. Honestly, again, going into my rankings this week, I would have had Keenan ranked higher, but I'm assuming Mike Williams, first of all, is cheaper. And second of all, Keenan Allen, according to PFF, actually has the harder matchup of the 2.
Yeah, I actually think Mike Williams is more expensive, if I'm being honest.
Really?
Yeah, I'm checking right now. I think he's actually more expensive.
I'd be shocked if that's the case.
Yep, he is. He's more expensive.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So I'm doing a cash game. I never do showdown cash games, but I feel like I figured I'd do one. So I just put like a $50 cash game in. And I have Keenan Allen in my cash game right now, and I might swap him out for Mike Williams. But it's huge differentiation factor, right? Because most people are going to have to choose between those two guys. And I think Keenan Allen does have like a pretty decent matchup in this game. He's got Nate Hobbs probably in the slot this week. And Mike Williams has Trevon Mullen most likely on the outside. And Trevon Mullen at least is a physical corner. He could stick. I mean, he's having a good season too.
Nate Hobbs is actually like graded as like a quote unquote average matchup for Keenan Allen according to PFF. I was actually looking at that.
And no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I think Nate Hobbs just as a player is like, I don't think he can hang with Keenan Allen. Like who's he played in the slot so far this season? He played the Ravens. They have like no real slot threat on that team. He would have played
Dallas when Ced Wilson was there, but I mean,
I think Keenan Allen's probably going to have a get right game in this one. And again, maybe I'm going to be wrong again and fading Mike Williams for like the 4th time, and he makes me look stupid. But I think this is a Keenan Allen game, if I'm being honest. Like I don't know for sure, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, a lot of questions in here, like usual, and tangents galore. Traded Sanders plus Tyson for Diggs and half PPR. Feeling great after yesterday. Yeah, honestly, I would have felt great immediately after that move too, because as much as I thought Miles Sanders, another guy that I'm partially worried about based on the usage that he's getting. Tyson Williams, I would have told you last week that he might be a guy that people were willing to drop like immediately, because like the guy was literally a healthy scratch. Like he's not even a functional like RB3 at this point.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Like, would you even roster Tyson Williams for you?
No, I think he's droppable fully. I think he's fully droppable. Yeah, and Diggs has 40 targets this year. Like he's getting 10 targets a game. Like it's not like he hasn't been great yet. Right? Like
4 games.
He hasn't been elite. He hasn't been Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. He hasn't been that yet, but he's gonna be that because he's getting the targets, and eventually these deep plays are gonna hit. The red zone plays are gonna hit. Dawson Knox is gonna stop scoring 2 touchdowns a game. Like, yeah, I like, and Dawson Knox is a guy that you definitely need to be rostering if you guys need tight ends, but he's probably a borderline top 15 tight end, a top 12 tight end for the rest of the year. And I'm willing to admit that, but I don't think he's like going to be a top 8 tight end all year. Josh says, oh, I just got scrolled away. Josh says, also, what do I do with Ayuk? He's killing me. Yeah, Brandon Ayuk's killing me a little bit too, if I'm being honest. Again, if you want to sell him, you can. I'm gonna probably ride the course with Brandon Ayuk, because in my league that I have him in, he is my wide receiver 4. So he's not like a huge, like I'm not relying on him to be my wide receiver 2 or my wide receiver 1. So I'm okay just kind of riding it out with Brandon Ayuk as a flex play. But yeah, he's definitely making me a little concerned. We'll have to see if this Trey Lance change up, if it happens, does anything positive for Brandon Ayuk. With Joe Mixon week to week, would Chris Evans be a good waiver pickup? Again, Danny's going to cover the waiver wire ads. Samaje Perine, I'd imagine, is going to be the more valuable Bengals running back. I'll let you cover that if you've done so.
Yeah, like Perine has gotten the majority of the work. Like Chris Evans spots in every now and then on 3rd down. And I'll talk about the utilization report by Dwayne McFarland, by Nathan Janke, like on the video. But Perine's been that main guy. Perine's been like, just when Mixon has not been on the field, it's been Perine pretty much like 70-75%. And if that's the case, I mean, I'm willing to, again, I want to hear more about what's going on with Mixon, how many weeks we're expecting, because if it's like 3+,
I heard day to day and week to week. So I'm guessing, again, like I don't want to be dropping 40% of my fab on Samaje Perine if Mixon's going to miss 1 or 2 games. Like I'm not.
But this one I would.
I don't think I would. I think there's going to be better options that I can hold my fab for, because again, I've kind of been off of these last couple waiver wire pickups. Like Chuba, I was, okay putting money down on because of the role we saw Mike Davis get, but I was never willing to drop 100% of my fab on Chuba Hubbard. Okay. Yeah. But Chris Evans and also Khalil Herbert are both good speculative ads because of what happened in their backfields, with Montgomery being out for probably a couple weeks as well. Chris Evans, I guess, could be the like breather back to Samaje Perine, and maybe he can carve out a good role for himself. But Mono Ghost has got blown out by Cordarrelle Patterson this week. Yeah, you and me both, dude. I actually played, I'm not even kidding you, in 2 leagues. I played Deebo Samuel, Cordarrelle Patterson, and Tyreek Hill in 2 leagues.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's horrible, dude. And I actually still have a chance to win in our Tone Setters League where I played those guys. And it's because I have Waller going, and if Waller outscores him by Kenyon Drake by 19, I could still win, because in my own right, like I had Saquon go off. I had a number of guys like do a lot of work in that game. Kyler had an okay game, I guess. Swift kind of disappointed, but okay. Either way, yeah. Cordarrelle Patterson, again, if you have him, he's like the most obvious sell high candidate I've ever seen in my life.
It's okay. I got your number in League of Latsers this week.
Hey, I can still win. I was telling them before you got on here, I need, 50 points? between Herbert and Bryan Edwards?
49.6.
Yeah, so I need, and it's a 6 point per passing touchdown. There's big play bonuses. If Herbert throws 4 touchdowns, 300 yards, and has like a 30-yard rushing day on top of it, like he could have a 35-point week. And all I need at that point is for Bryan Edwards to like catch a touchdown and like 5 passes.
Oddly enough, in that league, I literally subbed out freaking Darnell Mooney right before kickoff during our live stream.
Yikes. At least you didn't sub out Devontae, or at least you didn't sub out Tyreek Hill for Devontae Adams in your DFS lineup and cost you like $2.5 like it did for me. Where's the panic meter on CeeDee Lamb? Buy low. Like, honestly, like I'm not really that worried, but here's the thing that is worrying me a little bit about the Cowboys is they're not passing the ball like we thought.
Neutral game script passing. I was just about to say that. They've legitimately, I talked about it, but in week 1, they threw the ball 58 times. In the 3 games afterwards, they've literally thrown it like 75 to let me do the math. 133 total attempts. So Dak Prescott has thrown the ball 60 or 75 total times in the last 3 games, comparatively to 58 in the first game. So
yeah, this is not wild, man.
This is not the same super high volume passing offense. The reason being, Cowboys are a fucking good team, man. Like, they don't need to pass the ball 40, 50, 60 times to stay in games. Because, I mean, say what you want. You want to fucking diss Ezekiel Elliott, man. That guy is fucking running with anger right now. He's looking good.
He's looked good. The defense is playing better. There's no reason to, like, and again, this is another, like, underlying point of the offseason that we do every single year. We always, like, there's 3 or 4 offenses that we're like, they're going to throw the ball every play. The Bengals, the Cowboys, the Buccaneers, they're all running. Well, maybe not the Bucs, but like the Cowboys and Bengals, not only are they running the ball, their defenses are both way better than we thought they were going to be too. So there's no need for them to throw the ball at such a high rate. And I think that's definitely going to, that's going to hurt the pieces in that offense, because we've even seen, like, when Jamar Chase doesn't score a touchdown, it's hard for him to have huge value. And same goes for like T. Higgins when he gets back, and Lamb and Cooper, especially if they're going to mix in guys like Dalton Schultz and Cedric Wilson into the target share.
I just want to, again, I just quickly want to talk about, man, the Cowboys going up against the #1 run defense in football yesterday, rushed for 250 yards and basically 7 per pop. Like, it was fucked. Like, Tony Pollard was averaging 6.7 per pop, and Zeke averaged 7.3. Zeke averaged 7.3.
Yeah, I wasn't like really buying into they're the #1 run defense in football, because they did play like the Texans.
Their front seven's good, man.
Their front 7 is good, but I was like, okay, like Carolina's going to get knocked down a peg eventually. Like, I don't think they're going to be this like elite team, but man, Sam Darnold's looked like a new man.
Yeah, I mean, like, he got us with a couple rushing scores, and then the second, like, another thing I'll say, Cowboys coaching, another step up. Second half, they saw what the Panthers were doing and literally crafted a game plan to absolutely bully them in the third quarter. We outscored them, I think, 23-0 in the third quarter. Like,
yeah, that's pretty wild. I'm glad you guys beat them, because I didn't want to be losing to them in the division.
Yeah.
Javon says I'm winning in both my leagues. Good to see that. Yeah. I thought we were going to lose that game yesterday. I was at a owner's box with Sexy Pats and a couple other guys, and I thought we were going to lose. I fully thought we were going to lose that game. I was like, I'm kind of already accepting the fact that we're going to lose this by like the mid-third quarter. I was like, we have nobody that can cover anyone. Like, legitimately.
Richard Sherman's so toast. Oh my God.
Richard Sherman's toast. Carlton went down. Bunting's down. Dean's down. Like, we have no corners. Like, this magical, like, pass first offense that's going to pass 100% of the time in neutral game script, it's the Tampa Bay Bucks. That's the team this year, because we have no secondary.
Hey, I'm used to that, except now we actually do have a secondary.
Jordan Whitehead's the only standing, like,
body.
Yeah, body in the starting lineup right now. And Winfield just has a concussion, so I'm sure he'll be back. And it sounds like Dean's injury isn't serious too, so he should be back as well. But Carlton's going to probably be out for a couple of weeks by the sound of it. It sounds like Bunting might not be back for a while, maybe not even until like playoffs or something like that.
Hey, Corey,
what's up?
How the turns have tabled, eh?
Yeah, no kidding. I knew our pass defense wasn't, like, it was a little overrated. Like, people that were saying like we had the best defense in the league, I was like, we can be beaten through the air. Like, if you can pass for yards on us and stuff. Our defense was always predicated on pressure and turnovers. Like, that's kind of how our defense is. All of our ball hawks are down. So it's going to be hard for us to win games now, for sure.
I'll say one thing on the Cowboys, and we'll get into some more questions to fly. Man, don't get me wrong. Like, are the Cowboys playing like an elite defense right now? No, like, they're playing like an opportunistic defense. But what they're doing defensively without Calvin Joseph, without DeMarcus Lawrence, without their starting 3 tech going into the year, Neville Gallimore. Like they have, like Keanu Neal didn't even play either. Like they're literally without like 4 or 5 good contributing members in this defense, and they're making plays, which suggests to me like Dan Quinn's firing these guys up. I don't know what it is. Maybe head coach Dan Quinn doesn't work out, but defensive coordinator Dan Quinn is making an absolute number on this young team.
Yeah, I mean, Todd Bowles kind of the same way. He wasn't the greatest head coach in the world either. So, I was wrong about that. I thought Dan Quinn's defense had been figured out at this point in time. I was like, yeah, this cover 3 Seattle scheme, teams know how to beat it now.
Man.
Yeah, he's mixed it around. It's not the same scheme that they ran in Seattle for all those years. So Andrew says, I asked about starting Gainwell as a deep PPR flex. Glad you didn't hate it. Yeah, I mean, Gainwell's currently outscoring Miles Sanders right now in PPR leagues. So
in the season.
Yeah, it's pretty wild that Miles Sanders is kind of just getting usurped, especially completely in the passing game, because Miles Sanders, if you remember, he kind of had like a DeAndre Swift like rookie year where he looked like he was going to be like a great receiving back in his rookie year. And that's all his like involvement was, because they had, I think, Jordan Howard that year, and they used Miles Sanders in that role. And then last year he had so many drops. It was so inefficient in the passing game that he's just like never regained that role. It's really weird.
Like, to be fair too, with the Eagles, I think they have, I want to say in the last 2 games combined, they've run the ball 12 total times, like to their running backs, 12 total times. And it's like, okay, don't get me wrong. I am a complete advocate. You want to throw the ball early, you want to throw the ball often, but if you have absolutely no balance at all in your offense, like, kudos to Jalen Hurts because he's going to put up fantasy points, but man, that offense is going to be able to get figured out pretty quickly.
Yeah. Hawk over Kittle in Dynasty. Nah, I'd still take George Kittle there.
Yeah.
The age is intriguing, right? Because I mean, I got Hawkinson's got to be 4 years younger at least than George Kittle, because he's only been in the NFL for like 3 years.
23.
He's got to be 23, 24, and then Kittle's 28. So it's a pretty big difference in that. But I will still take George Kittle there. I think eventually this is all going to work itself out once Trey Lance becomes the starter of that team. Eventually, George Kittle will become a little bit more consistent.
Yep.
Do we think Zeke is back to prime Zeke? I mean, to me, I think when you say prime Zeke, I think 2016, like his rookie year. Like
he looks just as
he looks
good,
like 2018 Zeke.
Dude, he looks better than 2018. Like, I'll tell you right now, this is the best I've seen Zeke look since 2016. Like, he actually has juice. He actually has burst to his runs. The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about, which is going to take away from obviously my Cowboys bias, is going to be the receiving game. Because if he's only contributing like 2 receptions per game, he's going to need to rely upon 1 or 2 touchdowns per game. And while that could happen, this offense is sufficient enough to the point where he can be put in those positions. Like, when
there's a lot of options in the offense. They like to throw the ball in the red zone.
Yeah.
They have Dalton Schultz kind of showing up. They have big play receivers and stuff too. It's hard to rely on a running back other than like Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry. Like, it's really hard to rely on a running back to score every game, because with those 2 guys, like, once they get into the red zone, like, all they do is run.
Yeah, no, exactly. And at least with the Cowboys, we've seen the PA boots. We've seen Dalton Schultz get involved. We've seen, obviously, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper be able to make plays in the back of the end zone. I still view Zeke as probably like a mid RB1 rest of the season. Like, he's probably not going to be a top 3, top 4 guy, because I still think
okay, here, let me just list off some names. I know where I stand on this, and honestly, I'm a little higher on Zeke now than I was at the beginning of the year, because he has looked better than I thought he would look. So who would you take, Saquon or Zeke?
That's like RB7 versus RB8 for me.
I would take Saquon. Saquon to me is a top 5 running back.
Yeah, like they're close. They're probably both right after like Aaron Jones and Austin Eckler for me.
Okay, so those were my other 2 that I was going to ask you about. Would you take those guys over Zeke?
Slightly, yeah. I'd probably have Aaron Jones 5, Austin Eckler 6, Saquon versus Zeke 7, 8. Like,
I'm assuming you'd have Saquon and Zeke both over DeAndre Swift. I'm assuming then Najee Harris, Joe Mixon.
Yeah, slightly, but like, man, that honestly, after like the top 5 running backs, I think there's like a clusterfuck like between 6 and 13. As crazy as it sounds. Like, and again, I think Austin Eckler could probably enter and continue being in that top tier if we keep seeing the goal line involvement, if we keep seeing the fact that this guy's going to average 6 to 9 targets per game. I'm fine with putting him up there with like the Joneses, the Henrys, the Cooks, Kamaras. Actually, you know what? Like, Kamara, where do you rank him rest of the season?
Yeah, that's fair, man. I think you can make the argument that Saquon might be ahead of Alvin Kamara right now.
Saquon, like, and realistically here, if Kamara's not giving you 4, 5, 6 receptions per game, like, him versus Zeke is a toss-up because at the same time, you look at it.
I'd still take Kamara, but it's
But
closer than it should be.
That's what I mean. Like Kamara, if he's not getting that elite advantage over a guy like Zeke in the receiving game, Zeke's going to score more touchdowns because that offense is better. Yeah. Zeke's going to run the ball more times, even though we've seen Kamara average 23 carries per game in these last 3 weeks.
Like 26 carries last week. I never want to see Alvin Kamara get more than 15 carries in a game. Legitimately. Like I want him to get 14 carries and 9 targets every game. That's
I was about to say, can we substitute 10 of those carries into targets, please?
Yeah, like it's the same thing with DeAndre Swift and Austin Eckler. I never want to see Austin Eckler or DeAndre Swift get 25 carries. I want to see them get 15 carries and 10 targets. That's what I want to see them get.
Exactly.
Same with Aaron Jones too.
It's been frustrating to have Kamara because again, in my home league right now, I'm probably going to drop to 1 and 3. Keep in mind, this is the same league where Amari Cooper absolutely pooped it on Monday night last week. I'm going to probably follow 1 and 3 because DJ Chark got hurt on Thursday Night Football. And then it just so happened that James Robinson had as much as Kamara and Hubbard combined.
Yeah.
That's my RB1. Like that, you have to be performing like a superstar, plain and simple. And like Diggs had an okay game, but this guy can't score a touchdown to save his life. Has as many touchdowns as his freaking younger brother this year.
Yeah. Facts. Face Tyreek, Dak, and Barkley down by 80 tonight. I have Herbert, Keenan, Eckler, and Waller. He has literally a mega stack and a run back in this game. Do you have a chance?
No, I'm kidding.
I mean, it's going to depend on like your scoring format. Cause I would say if you play in like a 6-point per passing touchdown league, full PPR, big play bonuses, I would say, yeah, you probably have a good chance. I'd say you have a chance regardless, but however your scoring is laid out is, percentage points in your favor. Cause I'd say it's like, you probably have like a 35% chance as it stands right now. But if it's a 6-point and a full PPR, maybe it's like a 50-50.
Yeah.
So Jans says, who's better long-term prospect in fantasy, Zeke or Deebo Samuel? Are you talking about a dynasty? Or are you talking about, I mean, I guess it's still Deebo. It's still Zeke Elliott, but in dynasty, I guess it's closer because he's a wide receiver and he's younger, but
I guess, but like, yeah, I mean,
my wide receivers are DJ Moore, AJ Brown, Calvin Ridley, Jamar Chase, or Chase Claypool. I have no idea. And Devontae Smith. Would you send, I'm assuming it's Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith for Stephon Diggs?
I would do it, but
I would. He's got the depth to do it.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah, I mean, I would do it. It'd be tough losing that much depth. But I mean, Stephon Diggs, when he's on the field, I still think is going to be like a top 5 type of receiver the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'm actually going through kind of like an exercise for the trade targets video tomorrow, and that'll be live tomorrow. I'm going to basically make a theme for the trade targets video, and the theme is going to be teams that have gotten off to slow starts because their offensive coordinator changed. And the Titans are a perfect example of this. AJ Brown has gotten off to a slow start. Julio Jones and like some of these other teams, you can tell there's a clear correlation right now between the teams that are good, winning games, scoring points, and who had continuity over the offseason and the teams that didn't.
Yeah, and it's so funny because we literally mentioned it in the lessons learned video, and yet I still had AJ Brown super highly ranked. I still had Julio Jones super highly ranked, and in my home league,
well, the Chargers are overcoming it right now. They've had an offensive coordinator change, and they haven't had any problems.
Yeah, in my home league, it's killing me right now because you're going to get disgusted. I ended up taking Julio Jones over Cooper Kupp. Oof. I know. Keep this in mind.
I wouldn't have done that even like knowing what before the season. I had Cooper Kupp inside my top 15 wide receivers, and I had Julio at like 17.
I think I had Julio at 16 and Cooper Kupp at 17 in my rankings. One spot separating them, and I ended up going with Julio.
Yeah. So Brock says, I'm happy to trade Lamar in my redraft if I can get Lance. Is Lamar for Patterson a terrible trade? No, that's a terrible trade.
Do not do that.
Yeah, do not do that trade, Brock. Give me Lamar Jackson 10 out of 10 times. Like Lamar Jackson is such an advantage at the quarterback position that I probably need a top 14, top 13 running back for him if I'm going to trade him away. Like I need like Antonio Gibson if I'm going to trade away Lamar Jackson. Like I'm not trading Lamar Jackson even away for Chris Carson. Like I would probably rather have Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, no, I agree there.
Javon, what up, Danny?
Javon.
I need over under 16 points from Keenan Allen. What is your outlook with him on him with Mike? I mean, again, this is a toss up. I like both of these guys could have a good game. Both of them could have a mediocre game. One of them could go off. One of them could screw the pooch. Their targets are pretty similar. Like Mike Williams, we talk about it all offseason. Mike Williams is receiving the more valuable targets than Keenan Allen, though. He's getting the red zone targets, the deep targets. He's still, even though he's performing more like an X receiver, he still does get targeted more downfield than Keenan Allen does. So hopefully Keenan Allen in a full PPR, I would say he probably at best Mike Williams in this game, but it's close, man.
Yeah, no, I agree there. It's going to be a really close one.
Any updates on David Montgomery? I think the last I heard was that it's not, a torn ACL. It's not like super serious, but it sounds like he's going to be week to week or something like that. Maybe out for 2 to 4 weeks or something.
And that's the reason why I waited to record the video, because I want more information. How the fuck, how am I supposed to know how much fab to bid on somebody if they're not even releasing how long they're expected to be out?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, so I'm waiting on that. Once I have more details, worst case scenario, if they don't update me more tonight, I'll just put it out and say tentatively spend your fab, given what information you're provided on Tuesday, because obviously you don't, for the most part, have to make your waiver claims until Tuesday night.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is I can't believe I haven't said this already, but our New York Jets.
They won.
Our New York Jets beat the Tennessee Titans, and Zach Wilson looked great, which is what I love to see.
He was dotting up, eh?
Yeah, in the second half. He looked pretty bad in the first half, but in the second half, he looks great. Do you like that contrarian play in my DFS lineup? Did I tell you what I did?
No.
So I had a DFS lineup, and I'll literally pull it up on the screen right now. I had a Jet Stack DFS lineup, and if my dumb ass could pick a chalky play to save my life, then I would have. Here's my lineup. This is the lineup I had right here: Zach Wilson, Corey Davis, Jamison Crowder. Ran it back with the big dog, and I had Jonathan Taylor in my lineup. But Devontae Adams, Travis Kelce screwed me like crazy last.
Who's your defense?
Man. My defense was the Eagles, and they got
Oh, why?
They were at home. They were playing well. I was like, Mahomes was kind of throwing a lot of picks. I was like, there's a chance they could get a pick 6 or something in this game. But
who were the other low price?
They were like the cheapest defense on draft or on FanDuel.
Who were the other low price defenses?
The Jets, who had a much better game, but I didn't want to use them in every lineup. So, anyway, guy in my league wants to offload CMC bad, wants me to offer Najee plus something else worth the flip. If you're 3-1 or 4-0, yeah, I think it is probably worth the flip.
Depends what the plus is. Honestly,
Christian McCaffrey has a legitimate chance to play this week. He's not he was only ruled out Saturday afternoon for this week's game. So I'd be willing to bet that he's back by week 6.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree there. The thing is, though, if he's doing bad, what plus is he expecting for Najee? Because realistically, you can say here, hey, Najee's producing right now. I think he's a top 5 running back right now in half PPR. What else do you want? I'm getting an injured asset. You're getting one that's still producing right now. What else is the plus that you expect here?
Yeah.
You got to be objective in your trade or your trade negotiations, because people are going to try to get as much as they can for you, but you just got to say, hey, take it easy. But
yeah. Do you trust Higgins as a wide receiver too? Probably not, if I'm being honest. And I don't know in a full PPR league if I'd be willing to trade Ridley for Taylor. I still view Ridley very highly. I think this offense, like I said, a new offensive coordinator, new scheme. They're starting to figure things out by the looks of it. The Falcons looked a lot more.
And everybody wants to mention how unsustainable Cordarrelle Patterson's production is given his usage right now.
Ridley's the positive regression candidate. It's so obvious.
Yeah, the main benefactor of that would be Calvin Ridley. So I agree there. I would personally prefer Ridley to Taylor. I mean, the Colts.
Taylor's in a full-on committee. It's in the back of my mind as a Jonathan Taylor guy, a guy that I thought could be a league winner this year, was the potential that this guy turns into Dalvin Cook or Zeke Elliott, terms of usage, where yes, there's a Tony Pollard or whoever else type it's still involved, like Nyheim Hines, but this is the dude. He gets 22, 25 opportunities a game, and Taylor is going to get his share of carries, and he's definitely going to be involved, but Marlon Mack was pretty involved in this last game.
Not to mention, I mean, that team is an absolute garbage.
And the line's in shambles right now. It's just not a situation that I want to invest in if I can help it. But anyway, we're 20 minutes behind.
I'm going to say one thing. Reese, say it one more time. Say it one more time in the chat. See what happens.
Just ban him now.
Say one more time.
The Bucks, Patriots. Fuck, man. I thought the Patriots would win, but I had a feeling the Bucks were going to win somehow too. They kind of just have a way of winning. But anyway, I was kind of hoping the Pats would win for the storyline. Ayuk droppable, 10-team league. No, I don't think he's droppable. Even in a 10-teamer, I would still rather hold on to him than anybody that you're going to find on the waiver wire.
Yep, I agree there. Also, Spicy Out, I forgot to get you the stream link. That's why we're getting this guy over here spamming it a million times. Cool.
Yeah. Ayuk has whoops, I just got scrolled away from that. Ayuk has a 55 PFF grade, and last year it was 80. I think Ayuk has some lingering effects of the injury. I'm hoping it's something to do with his injury or something like that, because he doesn't look as good as he did last year, obviously. Shanahan is so dumb. Did y'all see that? He said Yeah, he did. He said Lance played okay, and that's why he's our QB2. It's dude, did you not want this guy drafted? Did you not? Did you want Mac Jones? Maybe he did want Mac Jones. Maybe that was true.
CMC Javonte, should I be looking to move any for at 4-0 first place? Just roll with that team. That team is absolutely stacked. Your running back.
I just saw CMC Javonte, and then I moved on to the receiver names. I didn't even see Swift in the middle of that. So you got 2 top 8 running backs, top 10 running backs, and a guy that's going to eventually be great.
The only thing I would say here is maybe package Jamar and LaVisca and get an absolute superstar receiver to complement
Diggs or I think you could probably go after Diggs, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. If you can pull Diggs from that, or Diggs, or
I doubt somebody would give you Adams for that.
I was about to say, would you do it for Jefferson?
Maybe, yeah. I'd probably do that for Jefferson. I'd probably do it for Ridley too, to be honest.
Yep. All right, perfect.
Need push to play Mike Williams so that he'll bust. Big facts. Is James Conner a buy high? No, James Conner is going to probably score 8 rushing touchdowns this year, and that's the extent of his value. He's an every week RB3 flex play, I suppose, because this offense is good enough to get him scoring opportunities, but I'm not excited about James Conner.
Hey, he was a worthwhile pick for me in best ball, so I'll take
that. Yeah, he was a great pick in best ball. In the 10th round, I picked him so much.
Yeah, I have super high ownership on that guy because literally his role was always going to be cemented as
all my best ball picks. Anytime we drafted a hero RB or I would go bimodal. I take Gibson, Najee Harris. I always took Leonard Fournette, Zach Moss, Leonard Fournette, James Conner, somebody like that.
I got a little too much Rojo.
I have a little too much Rojo, but I have a lot of those type of guys as my RB 3s and 4s, and Tony Pollard too. Those guys are really going to be paying off.
I was about to say I have a lot of Pollard, and I mentioned I have a lot of Rojo, but I also have 13% Fournette as well.
I have 20% Fournette. I have as much Fournette as I think I even had more Fournette than I had Rojo because Fournette was always going later.
There was that. Jamal Williams, I got a good amount of at the beginning of the offseason. I kind of cooled down once I got super, super high on DeAndre Swift, but I still have a decent percentage of him. Naeem Hines is a big one. Obviously, ripped to my King James White, but that was my main bread and butter pick every single time. And to be fair, given that he was going the 14th round, I already got 3 usable weeks out of him, which is all I really could have asked for.
Yeah, I still got a lot of Elijah Mitchell.
Oh, that's solid too.
Yeah, and I got a lot of David Johnson if he ever turns into anything.
On the bright side, David Johnson had 8 points this week, but on the bright side, those sunk picks, quote unquote, that I spent on Trey Sermon, at least he had a 15-point week this week or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
He had 100 yards and something? I don't know. Either way.
No, he didn't have a 15-point week now that I think about it. He didn't score. I don't think.
Didn't score. Okay.
Yeah.
I know he had 100 rushing yards.
Yeah, he did. But didn't get into the end zone. Anyway, Dynasty League week 2 traded Debo, Hollywood, and Juju. Bought low on DK Metcalf, Robbie Anderson with Peyton Barber thrown in. We could only keep 13. Did you pay too much or not? Okay, so I honestly would rather have DK over Debo and Hollywood combined.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, and Robbie Anderson for Juju is a wash to me. I think that's fine, and then you get Peyton Barber on top of it. Yeah, I think you can only keep 13, so it's a really extended keeper league basically. I think there's not really any scenario where you're never going to be keeping DK Metcalf year over year, so I like that trade. You got a surefire stud.
Agreed there. Played against someone that benched Patterson. Yeah, that's love.
I literally traded Patterson on Friday, so that was horrible.
What?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's the most fantasy thing I've ever seen. My opponent actually, I think he was gonna start Gerald Everett over Dawson Knox, and I was like, oh my god! And then Gerald Everett got COVID, so he had to start Dawson Knox, and then I got screwed by Dawson Knox.
Yeah, Dawson Knox had 20?
Yeah, something like that. He was the tight end 1 on the week, I think.
I'm down by 28. One of my fantasy leagues, I have Darren Waller, Mike Williams, PPR 6. Actually, tight end 2 because tight end 1 played on Thursday night. But Darren Waller, Mike Williams, PPR 6.100 pass. I think you win this. I mean, Darren Waller in that type of format might get it on his own.
6 point for 100 yards. That's what the bonus is.
Yeah, that's
Mike Williams definitely could have a 100-yard game too.
Yeah, it looked pretty good, eh? It looked pretty
Yep.
good. Dynasty League 12 team, Debo and Hollywood for yeah. I mean, that is a fantastic move. Go for DK there. It wouldn't have mattered, but Kamara's letting me down. Yeah, I agree there, Donald. I have him as well in my home league.
Yep.
You think Pollard maybe help? Yeah, no, it's definitely true. I mean, we have seen once Pollard got sprinkled in there, change of pace, we have seen a full thunder and lightning type of effect. And I'll tell you what, like we may consider Zeke quote unquote the thunder because of how elusive, how like fast Pollard is, but Zeke has a little wiggle to him right now. I mean, Zeke's looking good. He's looking fresh. He's breaking tackles. I mean, everybody's going to talk about the 47-yard run because he hadn't broken a run like that in quite a while. But what was impressive to me is he was turning like 1, 2, 3 yard gains, bowling someone over and getting first downs. It's like the yards after contact was tremendous. I think I saw a stat by PFF. He had plus 75 rushing yards over expectation yesterday, which is just
that's pretty
absurd.
That's pretty wild.
He had 143 totals. Basically, half of them was over the expectation. So, yeah, that guy played phenomenal. I have McLaurin, Williams, should I any of them for a backup running back? I mean, like you could always. Would you consider Kenny Galladay a sell high after this week?
Maybe, yeah, I suppose.
Like if you can get like a pass catching running back, if you need one, but I'd want to know who your running backs are because a lot of people they think they need backup.
If you could somehow flip like Kenny Galladay into like Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, it'd probably be a Galladay plus a big bit though, because
Darrell Henderson's getting a huge workload.
He's a bell cow, man. He's
like it's pretty wild.
5% snaps. Yeah.
Let me know your thoughts on this because I'm mulling over trade offers in my head right now. The guy that has Kamara in my league, I just played him this week, and Kamara's let him down. Obviously, he beat me, but Kamara let him down. Obviously, do you think you would give up Javonte and Antonio Gibson for Alvin Kamara?
In a heartbeat.
You would?
In a heartbeat.
It is a 3 wide receiver, 2 flex like start, and my roster right now is kind of top heavy. So like I'd be like sacrificing some depth there, obviously with Javonte and Gibson, but you'd be willing to give up Gibson and Javonte for Kamara.
You could always figure it out once you have the superstars in your lineup, in my opinion.
Right. Because like if I did that, I would have 3 superstars. I'd have Kamara, I'd have Swift, and I'd have Adams as like my superstars. And then I'd have those 3 second-year wide receivers, Brady, Fant, and I'd still have to, I'd have to figure out, like I have Jamison Crowder, like guys like that. I'd have to figure out my flex spot.
Yep. I agree there.
But I might send him that offer because he's a North Carolina fan too. So he might be in on he's been asking me about Javonte all season.
By the way, what are your thoughts quickly on this entry? So I have here, I could actually just share my screen here. Let me know your thoughts. And I've been like debating it for a while now, but I'm not sure if I want to like fully submit it yet. But this is what I got for tonight.
Okay, hold on. Let me like full screen this. Okay, Keenan Allen, Bryan Edwards, Derek Carr, Hunter Renfrow, Austin Eckler.
The overs concern me because I don't like having 4 overs because typically, again, like you don't want to have a super, super over heavy lineup. But
I think Keenan's going to hit the over. I would take the under on Bryan Edwards receiving yards.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the best matchup out of the Vegas receivers.
Completions, I think, is a good over because I think they're going to have tough matchups with the receivers that they're going to have to throw to running backs and tight ends a lot. So I don't mind that the over on Derek Carr's completions. 4.5 receptions, I think the over is okay on that. What is Eckler's? 5.5?
5.
5?
Easy.
So you need 6 then.
Yeah. Or you can push at 5.
But if you do you have to hit all of these?
No, I can hit 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, or 5 out of 5.
Oh shit! What site is this?
PrizePicks.
Shit, I might have to start doing these.
Yeah, bro, they're pretty lit. I did the one last night and I won $100 on a $10 bet because of the parlay. Let me see if I can find it, dude. I lucked out a half a yard off of freaking Rojo.
Spicy Yacht just said PrizePicks his ass in the chat.
Yeah, of course.
It's so laggy for me. True. Spicy Yacht, we need to hear your thoughts, man. You got a big primetime game on for your Raiders here. What a wild week of football. Anything that really surprised you? I mean, Cordarrelle Patterson really surprised me. So that was the big one.
I just see on the private chat.
Yeah. I'm trying to think anything else that really surprised you this week?
Other than the fact that the Cowboys are,
I think Sam Darnold being as good as he's been so far has been pretty surprising to me.
From a passing standpoint, he wasn't crazy against the Cowboys. Just, man, like that guy.
But like, we're talking about a quarterback that was like, this would be like if Daniel Jones went to a new team. Probably not even Daniel Jones. Darnold was like worse than Daniel Jones prior to this year.
Yeah.
This would be like if Dwayne Haskins takes over for the Steelers and is just dominant.
yeah, that's wild.
Like it's just a weird situation to me.
Yeah, no facts.
Okay. I thought, yeah, just talking about the Debo trade there. It's pretty incredible the effect that a healthy Zach Martin and Tyron Smith have too. Yep, definitely big facts there. DJ Moore, what's chat? Chat DJ Moore. I don't know. DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, top 10 PPR rest of the season. Are they top 10 receivers? I'm guessing is what he's asking.
Oh, I can't even change the freaking thing. Pain.
I would say DJ Moore is probably a top 10 wide receiver the rest of the season.
Top 15 for sure.
The guy looks phenomenal right now.
Top 15 for sure. Also,
Yeah,
it's not letting me change my thing. Pain.
Lost cause. I started Kirk Cousins while Darnold was on the waiver, and I got more. I mean, I think you made the right decision. I still would have started Cousins there. You just gotta. The unfortunate thing about the Browns and Vikings is that sometimes they're just gonna have really low scoring games out of nowhere, because they do like to slow the game down and run the ball. Think Montgomery will play next week. I doubt it. I think he's probably gonna be out for a week or two at least.
Yeah. But I'll quickly say one thing. So I guess I'm locked into that bet for tonight because it's not letting me change or cancel or I don't fucking know. Whatever. But
you might have to. Is there like do you have a promo code by any chance to get like a bonus?
I just used the one for Owners Club, bro, and I got 2 free cards.
Oh, true. Okay. Oh, we'll match your first deposit up to $100. Still. Okay.
Yeah, if you use promo code like TOC on that, you get free 2 free cards on Owners Club.
I don't really care about Owners Club. Fuck it. I might as well.
You get 2 free cards. You may as well.
Yeah. But what do you think there's a promo code that gives you like more of a better thing? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, to be fair, 2 free cards is literally like, it could be like $150 to $200+ of value.
True.
On that site.
Hero RB didn't treat me well this year. I drafted, yeah, I gotta let Spicy Hot rep his shit.
This is the toss, baby. Derek, 1 second.
Dude, I got locked into my fucking parlay. I'm so sad.
Anyway, okay. ISO says Hero RB didn't treat me well this year. I drafted.
I don't know where my card jersey went.
True.
But Derek Carr passed
Lamb,
leader in the NFL.
Ayuk, Claypool, Fuller, Elijah Moore, all of them either busts or underperforming. Wish I took Edmonds or Henderson round 4 to 5. I mean, I still would have taken the guys that you took. I mean, it sucks that they're kind of underperforming. I think they're gonna improve at least though. Going on. Can you hit some of these questions while I make this prize picks thing?
Sounds good, Javon. Jets game, yeah, facts. It was a funny game to say the least. Where the heck did we leave? Oh, here. Yeah, Darnold's a good option. I'm just swinging between Carr and Tannehill. Like for what? Like overall? Oh, you're streaming between them. Yeah, that's good. Hopefully you started Carr. Is Jacobs worth trading CEH? No, I'd keep CEH over Jacobs.
Yeah, I'd rather have CEH too.
Raiders Moneybags loves it. I have Lamar and Lance and 1 quarterback, 6-point quarterback. Which one would you move? I mean, is this a redraft league? If that's the case, you have to move Lance because Lamar's the guy.
Yeah.
On 33 points, PPR, I got Keenan Allen. Yeah, I think you got that Moneybags. I think you got that in the bag because I think Darren Waller might go nuclear in this game.
For sure.
What's up, boys? What's up, Brendan? Especially with Kenneth Murray out for this game too. He's on IR. Got CMC for JT. Ooh. Oh, that's a little too much for me.
For CMC?
JT and Ridley.
If you're 3-1 and 4-0, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
If it's especially I need to know like what the scoring is. Like if it's a 3 wide receiver, 2 flex league, maybe you don't want to give up that much depth. But if it's a 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex, like I'm cool getting the superstar in CMC.
That's fair, man. I would have bet the Josh Jacobs rushing yards over, but oh well.
Don't bet the rushing over. Josh Jacobs is trash.
Chargers rush defense sucks.
But Jacobs is going to get hurt like 5 times.
Probably will, but it's only at 44.5 right now.
That's true.
Jacobs or Ruggs down 23. If you're going for ceiling here, I'd go for Ruggs. What are your thoughts
here? Yeah. Down 20 in a standard league, 23 is a lot. You need 2 bombs to Ruggs if you want that.
Down by 31 at Peyton Barbecue now. As all hope lost and Josh Jacobs back. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have started Peyton Barber. I'm gonna be honest, Chief. Should I trade Waller for DK and Damon Harris? I'm hurting in wide receiver. Who's your tight end there, Adam? I need to know that to make that move. Let me know. If you know you're probably not winning division, do you guys recommend going full rebuild in Dynasty? Well, if you know, okay, my philosophy in Dynasty is always if you know for a fact you're not entrenched as a top 3 team, which is probably what you're asking here, I like rebuilding because I want to make sure that when I'm in my areas of contention, I'm at my peak value. I'm at my peak contention period, if that makes sense. So if I have a roster that I think, it's good, it could probably make the playoffs, but it's probably not one of the top contenders. Guess what? I'm trading them at their values, and I'm going to rebuild, and I'm going to make sure that the next time I go for full contention, that's the team that can dominate my league. Not just compete, but dominate. So I know Bush is more like if you're in the dance, you have a chance. But like I personally like being that dominant team in the dance. I want to be the chaperone there. I don't want to be one of the students.
The hell kind of analogy is that?
I don't know what that was, but hey. Can Trey Lance save Ayuk? Yeah, I mean, he definitely could. We saw the report in the offseason. We just got to see it come to fruition. But Ayuk is scary for me.
Yeah, Ayuk is making me real nervous, if I'm being honest.
5 points from Carlson. Yeah, you should have the cake there. Shit, I took Ayuk over Cup, so I'm really down bad. Yeah, man, it's pain. It's pain. I had Ayuk like right around that same rank too. If you're gonna win today is my question. Spicy hot cover years. I think the Chargers win this one at home.
Oh my! You know what? You said the past 3 weeks, and we won every week. So you know what? Say it again.
I respected you guys, but I mean, against the Ravens, I didn't expect that. Who are the other 2 opponents?
Steelers and.
I think I had you guys beating the Steelers.
What was our other one?
Did you guys
Some
beat
trash team. Oh, Dolphins.
Oh yeah, Dolphins suck balls. Yeah.
And we still almost lost.
This will be a tough game though. I think it'll be high scoring. Should I trade my Waller for D? You already said that. I would need to know who your tight end there is, Adam. I need 100 yards and a touchdown for Mike Williams. Is it going to happen? It absolutely could happen there, Joe. He's got the talent. Start 2 next week. Hubbard, Saquon, Patterson, Moss, Hunt, Montgomery. So Saquon's for sure in your lineup. In terms of your other running back, I would need to see matchups. Montgomery's most likely out for that game, so it would be between Hubbard, Patterson, and Hunt.
I would say as a rule of thumb, the best time to ask us start-sit questions is on the start-sit video comments because then I'm usually like up to speed of who everyone's playing and what the stuff is. I don't usually look ahead to the slate until Wednesday, Thursday. So that's basically my philosophy on it. The most accurate answer you're going to get, other than like Sunday morning before the games when we know all the information, is usually after I've done research on the slate.
Yep, for sure. Let's try to quickly bang these out. Ashton for real, just going to show up. I mean, I think he could definitely have a receiving role rest of the year. Now, is he going to be an RB1? No, but could he be like a fringe top 25-ish back with the receiving production? Yeah, I think he can because Mike Davis has shown he's not going to handle the every down duties over there. And Cordarrelle Patterson, aside from week 1, has legitimately garnered 7-8 targets per game. So I like Patterson. Now, do I still think he's a sell high? Absolutely, because people might think he's a legitimate top 12 running back right now, especially in more casual leagues, and you can take advantage of that.
Yep.
Here, yes. I need about 24 points. Should I start Herbert or Derek Carr? I'd go with Herbert.
Yep.
Pray for me, boys. Y'all told me to start Cousins over Darnold. I could have had DJ combo, but that's pain. I mean, Cousins had the matchup all to him, but apparently we forgot that Cousins is Cousins, and we'll have these games every now and then. Oh well. That's just unlucky. I mean, Darnold kind of got bailed out by those 2 rushing touchdowns, but kudos to him. He looked like he's turned the corner.
Yep.
Listen to Jose. No spamming. So if you ask a question once, we will get to it as fast as possible. Appreciate that, Jose. Spicy Hot just reassured that too. DJ Moore, yes. Deontay with injuries and then having no arm, I'm not sure. Yeah. Thoughts on Cliff Kingsbury? I think he's figured out his pieces to run his offense. Yeah, that Cardinals team looks very scary right now. And I'll say, like the top contenders in the NFC right now, I mean, you got to put the Cardinals up there, the Rams, the Bucks, the Cowboys, and the Packers.
I don't even know if we're up there right now, dude. We got fucking nobody covering anybody back there.
That's fair. I mean, to be fair, like, you and the Packers, like, I would say, like, I don't know. I still have my biases. We played the healthiest that you guys been of all season, and I'm still sick that we didn't come out with that dub week 1. But whatever, you guys are a good team. I'm, nothing you can change about that. But I'm excited to see what happens and what unfolds the rest of the season in the NFC because we kind of know who the good teams are. We kind of know who the bad teams are, but there's a lot of jumbo in between. Like, where are the Panthers going to end up? Where are the Washington football team once Fitzpatrick going to end up? Like, those are the questions I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Seahawks, 49ers, which one of those teams make the playoffs? Because I think right now you can say the Rams and the Cardinals are basically locks, but I don't think 4 NFC West teams make it, even though they could from a talent standpoint. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's get through some of these and then fucking drop out. Don't forget to drop a like. Yeah, I appreciate that. If you're watching the stream, 55 of you, make sure you drop a like. It means a lot. Thanks to Andy. As long as Frank Reich is the coach, yeah, it definitely could be the case because again, like Taylor's still like he's like Nick Chubb. He doesn't need 25 opportunities per game, but in terms of a pure rusher, in terms of touchdown scorer, I think this could be a buy low because people are panicking right now. It just depends on the personal valuation in your league because in more sharper leagues, people are going to realize like Jonathan Taylor is in that mold of a Nick Chubb, a Saquon Barkley, where even if the offense around him is falling apart, like this guy can still legitimately break off like 60, 70, 80-yard run on any given play. So
The game has a weather delay.
Yeah, I just saw that too.
you got like what Gibson try to get a combo, Javonte Stern. I would stay with Gibson here, Kyle. Stay with Gibson. Will I drop more than 15 points, you guys think? I do think so, and I see the little Gruden in your PFP. So
Love to see that.
That's my go-to RB3 and bet. Yeah, it's just so easy money. I mean, this guy is going to have his dud games like we saw this week, but he's going to have his weeks where he puts up 15, 20, 25 points. And in the double-digit rounds, you just look for usable weeks from your running backs. Any card to put up less than 25, I win. Do you think I got this? It'll be close. Again, the way Derek Carr's been playing, I'm not going to count him out, but this Chargers secondary has been playing well too. So I don't know. I'll probably give you like a 65, 70% chance to win here. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say like an 85% chance.
Really?
No,
Yeah.
sorry, Spicy Hot, but it's gonna be hard for Carter.
Yeah,
to put up a big
25
game.
fantasy points. Yeah, no, I don't. Think
Especially with Jacobs playing now too, like
Mhm.
there's a good chance if Jacobs vultures a touchdown away, like in the red zone, it'll be pretty hard for Carr to get to that number.
Yep,
Yeah, I
okay.
doubt it.
Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Who's Brandon?
Ayuk,
so.
hopefully.
He's
Oh,
not
I
very
hear I wouldn't, Kyle. I love Nick Chubb, but his touchdown dependency is a bit worse than I was. Yeah, I absolutely agree there. I mean, that was the one main reason why I was off of him. He doesn't have the full workload because Kareem Hunt's there. He doesn't have the pass game utilization. He's going to rely on touchdowns on an offense that, while I think is good, I don't think I can put it in the class of a KC, a Dallas, a Tampa Bay, a team like that. So Nick Chubb was always going to be a low-end RB1 for me simply because of his talent.
Yeah, he's pretty much. Unfortunately, Jonathan Taylor's kind of in the same boat right now that we can't put them much higher than that. But I mean, if they were to ever get full 3-down workloads like Dalvin Cook or Ezekiel Elliott a couple of years ago, I think those guys could easily be top 3 running backs in fantasy.
Absolutely. Gibson's upside is great. Yeah, no, I agree there. I'd go with Gibson. Oh, familiar face. We got 25 in here. Yes, sir. Cash money. Who wins a trade call? PPR. Calvin Ridley and Austin Eckler for Keenan Allen and Saquon Barkley. Ooh. I personally
Give me
would
Keenan
want.
and Saquon.
I want Eckler and Ridley.
Danny's the Saquon hater.
Yeah, I know he
Hater,
hates
but-
Saquon. If he
Dude,
just put
dude,
up,
what do
like,
you need to
30
see out of
points.
Saquon before you know he's literally the
Nothing.
back that
I'm
I would have
still-
taken second overall? If I
I'm-
saw this Saquon in the preseason, what we've seen so far, I legitimately would have taken Saquon second overall.
To be fair, full PPR, I think Austin Eckler's going to catch more passes. And if Austin Eckler's getting the goal line role in what is going to be, in my opinion, top 5, 10 offense in the league, I think the difference between Calvin Ridley and Keenan Allen is enough for me to take that deal.
Should I go $50 on PrizePicks or what?
I have $55 on a bet I can't take back, so you may as well go 50.
You put $55 on that?
Yeah,
I told you that app was.
To be fair, I had it on my promo bonus, so I just used it. But like I've already profited technically because theoretically I got 200 on my app. I have $240 in my account plus that $55 bet right now because I made $100 last night.
True.
But yeah, I would go with Ridley and Eckler. Corey would go with Saquon and Keenan. So sorry for that confusion, Cash. Star Herbert James, yes sir. Keenan Saquon by a good. Oh wow, you say by a good bit? We got to track this rest of the season.
I'd also say by a good bit. I'd rather have Keenan than Ridley, and I'd rather have Saquon than Eckler.
Yeah, Falcons stink.
Okay. Interesting.
It's not that. Yeah, I mean the Falcons do stink, but like I'd rather just have Keenan than Ridley, even without it.
I personally like the Eckler and Ridley side. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit biased because I have that in one of my leagues. That's a full PPR, but like I don't know. That's what I'd like. Start 2 next week. Saquon Montgomery. We already answered that at KTC, but pay attention later this week. We'll have more information available to you. But Saquon is obviously a must start here, and I would probably say, off of initial look, Edmonds or Hunt would be my best guess for RB2. Go by Swift boys. Yeah, I mean, We love Swift here. Can't say that twice. Best buy low running back in Dynasty.
Oh, real quick on Swift, I just want to mention, like, for those of you guys that don't know, DeAndre Swift ran like 70% of the snaps yesterday. Like the volume wasn't there. They only had I think 14 touches each or something like that, or 13 touches each. But DeAndre Swift did play more than Jamal Williams did. He was on the field 72% of the time.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Which is a big time uptick in snaps from what we've seen thus far in the season. He's more been like a 55, 60% snap guy up until this game, but then he was over 70%, like Dan Campbell said, I guess.
Who would you say is the biggest buy low running back in Dynasty?
Javonte Williams.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Javonte Williams to me is easily the biggest buy low running back in Dynasty right now.
I agree.
I'm low key starting to think that there's a chance that Cam Akers might be a great buy low in Dynasty as well.
Yeah, definitely. Cam Akers. I mean, even J.K. Dobbins.
I don't want to give up a first rounder for the guy, but if you can get him for a second and Jalen Reagor, I'd be willing to do it
Easily.
Or even Ruggs or someone like that.
Might do it for Brian Edwards in 2 seconds, and I'd do that.
I would do that.
Yeah.
I would take Brian Edwards.
Are you gonna trade me Ruggs in our Dynasty League, Spicy Odd?
Hell no, I ain't. Boy, I'm ripping him.
To be fair, I have him in every other Dynasty League, so maybe I don't need him in that one. And I spent a first rounder on him in every other Dynasty League.
Which one of you is buying Leonard Fournette off of me? Fuck.
Oh hell no! I should have bought Debo off
trade
of
every day. It's a first rounder and Tim Patrick for my first next year. It's you think I was born yesterday, Danny?
I should have bought Debo off of you, Bush, when you gave me the chance.
Oh, dude, I was willing to give Debo away for nothing.
He was selling them, and no one wanted it.
And now Debo's just elite.
Hey, Bush, remember? I think I offered you Fournette for him.
I almost took it.
Some spicy, yes, sir. Raiders are dumpster. Ooh, Raiders are dumpster.
Okay, 25. 3-0.
Dude, I dropped 180 points in our Dynasty League this week, eh?
Yeah.
Freaking Barkley dropped 31. Debo Samuel dropped 38. Darnold dropped 35. Dude, why did I fall ass backwards into the two biggest values in Dynasty with Sam Darnold and Debo Samuel?
Yeah, you sent me Sam Darnold and Debo for Zach Wilson. Should have took it.
Did I actually send you that trade?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, hey, do it right now. Do it right now. No,
I'm good.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there, Gio. I don't know how you're 0-3. That's a pretty good team there. I just hold. The only thing I can see here that's concerning is your tight end, but I mean Logan Thomas would have been good. He just is hurt now. I personally probably just hold and wait it out.
Is it gonna let me do these picks? I don't think it will.
Kavila, give me CH there. Should I sell sell Cooper Kupp high? If you could sell him for Stephon Diggs, yeah, I would.
How do you do this, Danny?
You make your picks. You bet on the side whether they're gonna go over or under, and then you submit your bet amount. And do you have an option to do power play or full
or
thing?
flex?
Oh yeah, and you pick which one you want, and then you hit the submit.
If you do power, all your picks have to.
Yeah.
Okay. What one are you doing?
I did the power, but because it's 5, it's still good. It gives you money if you hit 4 and money if you hit 3.
Okay.
So because I have 5 on my card.
That's
so
you
you
for the
just
flex.
you just hit the picks or whatever when you're going through these, right?
Yeah. But yeah, look for a Stephon Diggs or someone like that. Otherwise, I think Cooper Kupp's pretty locked and loaded as a top 8-ish receiver rest of the season. Started Teddy B over Matt Ryan, who I picked up for the next 2 weeks. Payne. Yeah, that's Payne. Teddy Bridgewater obviously got hurt in that game. He was saying I said it, forget it for the rest of the season. I wouldn't say set it and forget it, but he's probably at least a top 20 wide receiver until further notice.
Look at Nathan's comment real quick. The most recent one.
Oh my god.
He should have stolen that.
I did send him that. I remember that trade.
Oh, Nate Payne. Also, I'm still trying to patiently waiting, investing in a future. Yeah, man, the Steelers are the Steelers are dumpster juice. Jeez. Better quarterback rest of the season. Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson. I will go with Lamar Jackson here in 4-point passing touchdown leagues. Just the rushing upside is just so key. I know obviously Russell Wilson's got off to a very efficient start, but I think Lamar Jackson, from a rushing standpoint, is going to be able to not only equal that, but surpass him the rest of the year. People say most, yeah, no, I wouldn't say that, Jason, but you can stop repeating that question a million times in the chat.
I timed him out.
Once is enough. Any trade recommendations? I got Kamara Eckler.
Ruggs 3 receptions. Do we think he goes over that? I think
Yes.
he goes over that.
Yeah. I think I bet that.
Nicky
No?
slants.
I think I bet that. What?
No, you did Renfro, I think.
Oh yeah, I did Renfro and Edwards.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
not
doing
sure.
one, I'm doing one right now. I'm taking under Austin Eckler 56.5 rushing yards. I'm taking under Keenan Allen 84.5 receiving yards.
Nice.
Over Josh Jacobs 44.5 rushing yards. Over Darren Waller 68.5 receiving yards. Henry Ruggs over 3 receptions.
I wanted the Jacobs one so bad I was gonna hit the over, but fucking I got locked into mine.
Okay, so
I have
place entry.
Allen under, Edwards over, Carr over, Renfro over, and Eckler over.
How do I claim my owners club things?
Basically, you just DM Herzig. Oh, no, you have to actually fill out a form, TOC form. I'll show you it after the stream, but you fill out a form in the announcements. You put your ID, you put your name and stuff, and your account details, and then they track it. And then if you wanted to as well, I just messaged Justin Herzig and just told him, I'm like, hey, I did my thing. Let me know if you got it, blah blah blah, and then I got it for Sunday morning.
True.
What are your thoughts on this, by the way?
Any trade recommendations? I got Kamara, Eckler, AJ Brown, CD, Ayuk, Jamar Cooks. Need a wide receiver 1 lock, but most people won't do wide receiver for wide receiver. I mean, you know what sucks is that you're probably like 0-4 with this team.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Which is insane. But I think I would just hold pat. I think you have a good team. I don't want to trade any of these guys.
Same.
If I'm being honest, because like all these guys are going to have lower value than what they're actually worth, in my opinion, in the eyes of like your league mates.
Yeah, I agree there. Also, side note, I think I pulled my quad today doing legs, but
True. Classic Danny.
60 from Herbert and Eckler. Oof, that'll be.
So can I DM Herzig and tell him that?
Yeah, DM him, or are you in the Discord?
Yeah, I'm in the Discord.
Okay, he just shows up at the top. He's just Justin, and you just like click and message him, say, hey, I just filled out this form. I signed up for PrizePicks using code TOC. I just wanted to make sure that I'd be able to get my TOC cards prior to Sunday kickoff, and then he'll hook you up.
All right.
And Dynasty, what younger receivers should I try trading for once? Guy said no to Lamb and Waddle for Barkley. What? That guy's off the rocker. Hey, Bush.
What do you trade?
Rock offered Saquon to the Lamb owner for Lamb and Waddle, and the guy said no.
Oh, yeah. No, give me Saquon.
I love
there.
Lamb, but like, come on.
All right, give me Saquon easily there.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, if that's how stingy your league mates are, I mean, like, I'd probably just try for what, like T. Higgins plus like 2 1s, maybe you can get T. Higgins plus a 1 and a 2.
For Saquon?
I mean, that'd be the type of value I'd look for if I'm rebuilding.
I would need more than that for Saquon.
As a rebuilder?
What? Saquon's still young?
I mean, let's expect that the first is like mid.
I don't know, dude. I need borderline Christian McCaffrey level value for Saquon Barkley. I think me and you have a vastly different view of Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. I mean,
you view Saquon like Zeke, even though he's 4 years younger or 3 years younger than him, and he's
2 years.
He's probably 2 years younger than him, actually. Legitimately, I would think Zeke is older than he is.
2 years younger and a way worse offense. I mean, like the one thing that you have there is he does have still youth to him comparatively, and he's going to have more of a receiver.
He's also never been in a good offense too, so it's not like it's just now bad.
Yeah, I mean,
if it ever gets good, he's going to be phenomenal.
I mean, fair. I don't know. He's
anyway.
Good.
Let's rip through some of these questions and head out of here. I'm trying to watch the game. I know it hasn't really started yet, but
real quick, isn't SoFi a dome?
Oh, and dude, wait, what?
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah.
Isn't it indoor?
Yeah, something like that.
It must not be if they're having a lightning delay.
By the way, in that scenario, because like you still have DK, Jefferson, and Kupp, like I don't mind the move. How many people are in this league? Jesus Christ! Like you have a phenomenal receiving core. If that was.
Oh yeah. See, okay. So this is the question I said. If it's a 2 running back, a 2 wide receiver, and a 1 flex, give me CMC. He's an advantage. I'll take CMC there
for sure.
And you still have DK, Jefferson, and Kupp.
I wouldn't be worried. I mean, we saw Cooper, despite playing on a bum hamstring, still be able to produce last week. I mean, this is just a team that has been absolutely flowing. And then from the Thielen side, I mean, he didn't score this week, but this guy's legitimately probably going to score 90% of his games. That's just kind of how he roles. I mean, everybody wants to say, "Oh, regression." He's not getting the target share. He's not getting the yardage. But Thielen, aside from maybe Mike Evans, maybe the best touchdown, or Devontae Adams as well, maybe the best touchdown scorer in the Tyreek Hill. He's top 5 touchdown scorer in the league. That's basically what I want to say.
Right. Yeah. You forgot AJ Brown too.
Yeah. It's close.
I think he's so good, man. Anyway, Devontae, that's like, he's going to be my number one trade target again, by the way. AJ Brown, like, he's just so much better than what you're going to be able to get him for, basically. That's the reason for it. Devontae Smith for Javonte Williams. Give me,
I'd probably slightly go Javonte.
I probably slightly would too. I like Devontae Smith a lot, but running back versus wide receiver, they're both kind of in the same tier. Just give me the tiebreaker of the potential for a great running back. Anyway, game's delayed. Yeah. I didn't want to start Peyton, but Eli Mitchell and CMC and Henderson are my other 2 running backs.
Henderson and CMC. Oh,
yeah.
CMC.
I guess he probably started Henderson already and then had to start Peyton Barber as the other one. That kind of sucks. Is Mike Willis sell high, or do you think his production will sustain? If again, I think he's going to be good. I don't think he's going to fall off like completely, but I think he's at his peak value currently. So anytime I can say that about a player, I usually am looking to see what I can get for them, because if somebody in a more casual league is willing to give me like Stephon Diggs for Mike Williams, or even like Mike Williams plus a small piece for Stephon Diggs, I'd still be willing to do something like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Again, like, but if the question is like, it all depends where your league values him. Because I know some leagues might just say, "Oh, he's doing it for the first time in his career, 3 games, yada yada." Like, it might undervalue him. I think he's a legitimate top 15, 18 type of wide receiver the rest of the year. And if he keeps continuing these the next couple weeks, I wouldn't be shocked if he ends up nearing that fringe top 12. Like, I think like him, DJ Moore, like guys like that are all in that range of fringe wide receiver 1 status, honestly.
Yeah, the way that they're playing, it's definitely hard to deny what they're doing right now, because it's not like they're just getting lucky with touchdowns or something like Cordarrelle Patterson, for example.
Yeah, is Montgomery coming back? Not for a couple weeks from what I'm aware of.
Yep.
Trade away Carson for Hunt and full PPR?
I'll take Chris Carson there.
I'll go Carson, yeah. Or Carson.
Sorry. I'd rather have Mixon than Carson.
I need more information on that knee injury, man, or whatever it is. What injury? Ankle injury. Yeah, that is. Lower body.
To be fair though, like the reason I said like maybe you should be looking to move Mixon is because like they're giving him so much volume that like no running back can handle that.
Yep, facts. Lightning delayed game starting 8:55. Yep, I'm winning by 3. Opponent has Herbert. I have Eckler and Carson. Carson, do you think we'll win? I think you win there. I think like let's say we get 20 from Herbert, get like 16, 17 from Eckler, and then
the problem is like if Herbert does well, Eckler probably doesn't.
I mean, to be fair, he's also a PPR running back, so.
I know, but like you got to figure Herbert's probably throwing touchdowns, and maybe Eckler catches a receiving touchdown or something, but
that's fair.
Yeah, that's a close one. I think that's like a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, that's wild, Nathan.
Yeah, big yikes.
Is it time to panic again, Ayuk? LOL, yeah, probably, to be honest.
A little bit, but I'm still going to keep Brandon Ayuk in wide receiver 3 territory in my rankings. Like he's going to be like between 35 and 40 probably in my rankings this week.
Yeah, Malik Willis is fun as fuck, man. Like, oh,
is he the Liberty quarterback?
Yeah, man, he is fun. Like,
I think Matt Corral's the best quarterback in the class. He had a rough game though.
I think Corral's probably quarterback 1, and then you can argue like Willis, Rattler, Carson Strong.
Rattler stinks, man. I don't care what anybody says about Rattler. He sucks.
You stink.
He's got the traits, man. He's just so fucking inconsistent. But he makes some fucking special zip throws like into tight windows.
So did Jacob Eason, man. Like I don't care.
Fucking headless though. Yeah, but I don't know. Like Rattler can create out of structure. Rattler just got a hose. Rattler can fit tight windows.
Yeah, I don't pay. Like I wish I liked college football more. Like I wish I was like, yeah, I like college football. But like, have you guys ever been on like a date and you're like not really into the girl? Like that's what like watching college football feels to me, because it's like I'm just waiting for Sunday. I'm just trying to pass the time until I get to Sunday.
He's waiting for his wife.
Like that's what college football feels to me. And like it's probably because I don't like have like a college team like set in stone. Like when I was a kid, I used to be like a Longhorns fan. Then I kind of like rode the LSU wave a couple of years ago. Like I don't really have a college team, so I kind of just like mess around and watch like prospect games.
Michigan's good now, so you can like them.
I'm not watching Michigan football. Like I don't hate myself.
Hey, 9th in the nation now. I'll tell you right now. We have Penn State. We have Ohio State. Both on the schedule.
Yeah, and you're gonna lose to Ohio State.
Oh, I'll bet you that right now. I think we beat Ohio State at
I mean,
home.
I think history's on
Big
my
O's?
side with that one.
And that's fine. But at the same time, I mean, this Michigan ground game has looked phenomenal. CJ Stroud has struggles for Ohio State. Like I think Michigan actually beats them this year, so keep that in mind. Penn
Potentially.
State, I'm more worried about though. Penn State's looked phenomenal.
Yeah, I watched the Penn State Indiana. I think
Penn
was the
State-
game that I was watching earlier.
Penn State looks good. Big Ten literally has like, we also play Michigan State. It's like right now, but the
True.
Big Ten has like 5 teams ranked in the top 15 right now. Like it's actually looking like Iowa's number 3. Iowa.
State or Iowa?
Iowa.
Who do they have?
Well, I know their center is an absolute mauler, Tyler Linderbaum. I want the Cowboys to get him next year. He's going to be a first-round pick at center. Dude is literally a freaking locomotive. Like, you watch that guy play, he's reaching the second level, nobody's business, flipping his hips.
Oh, I saw that Twitter clip.
Hey, he's phenomenal.
Well, I saw the one clip of Evan Neal like just absolutely destroying a kid.
That guy's going to be a top 3 pick. He might go number
Really,
1.
eh?
Yeah, Evan Neal, yeah.
He might be the first pick in the draft.
Well, if Jacksonville picks first, yeah. They need a tackle,
Yeah,
bro.
that's
Ken
possible.
Thompson,
They don't need a quarterback.
They don't need a quarterback. I mean, like
Team Tebow.
as much I like Stingley and Kyle Hamilton, you're not going to take them over a premier position like left tackle. So
Yeah,
I
could
think
be
he
the
could
next
the
Eric
pick.
Fisher.
Yeah.
Can you sit Tyreek next week when I play you? Yeah, absolutely not. Literally, no one wants Saquon in my Dynasty League, and it's so bad that I might just keep him. Honestly, dude, keep Saquon Barkley, and then when everyone realizes that he's a fucking baller, that's when you trade him. I can get a first from a terrible team in 2023. Again, I need more than that for Saquon. I don't want Bijan Robinson straight up for Saquon Barkley. Like I want, and again, that's no guarantee. Like they could win 3-4 games, and then that could be the 4th pick in 2023, and then it's not
I'll
Bijan.
never understand that. It's like, cool. Yeah, you can potentially get Bijan or Bigsby, or you can just have fucking Saquon Barkley,
Which is the meter stick to all college prospects to ever be measured again, because Saquon quite literally is the best running back prospect that guys like Mel Kiper have ever seen, who've been doing prospect evaluation since 1985.
As much as I like Bijan Robinson, I think he's going to be a star on the next level. Thing with Bigsby, I think Bigsby's going to be good too.
Bijan's fucking good though, man. Every time I watch Texas, I'm like, I'm low key kind of becoming another rehashing my Longhorns like fandom, just because I'm seeing Bijan. I'm like, this kid's so good, man. Plus, I saw Caden Stearns get 2 sacks on the Broncos this week.
For sure, but think of it like this, right? Bijan, phenomenal. He's probably going to be like a top 5 to 10 pick in the 2023 draft. We know that, right? You know who else is really good in fucking college? And he's currently starring for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What, Rojo?
Leonard Fournette. Yeah,
good point.
Remember when Leonard Fournette was a consensus top 5 running back in the last 20 years?
Yeah, he was he was like the first time I ever heard about Devy was Leonard Fournette was the Devy guy.
Yeah, he was a 5-star prospect. He was phenomenal. I remember he came out like at the time, like it was Todd Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, Leonard Fournette, Saquon Barkley, all like back-to-back years. And I remember like in that time frame, people were comparing like, oh, who's the best prospect of the bunch? It's probably Barkley. And then after that, like Gurley versus Fournette versus Zeke was like so close for everybody. And it's like, it's so
I'm
funny
excited for this wide receiver class, though, man. I'm already excited for these guys. Like I watched the Arkansas game a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago. Burks looked phenomenal. I watched the USC game.
London looks good.
I watched the USC game this week. I was like, yo, this London kid's pretty good. I just watched John Mechie catch touchdowns every single week. Like,
I played against that guy. How fucked is that?
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be unreal too. And then obviously you got the Ohio State boys. Like you got a good amount of receiving talent in this draft.
Yeah, I didn't even mention those guys. They're phenomenal too.
That kid from Penn State's been rocking it too.
Yeah, dude. Mel Kiper has him as his wide receiver 1 right now.
That's crazy to me.
Because he's a senior, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's a true junior.
He's a senior. I'm pretty sure. I think he's.
Let me check.
He didn't early declare. He could have came out last year. I know that.
I think he might be. He's 21, bro. So I think he's a true junior.
Really? Because I saw a lot of people ripping Mel Kiper because he wasn't an early declare.
True senior. Sorry, I was thinking of redshirt junior. He's true senior.
Yeah. So he could have came out last year, and that's like usually not a good sign.
Well, him and Olave too. Olave's my age as well.
Is Olave a senior?
Yeah, he's 2000.
Oh shit, eh?
Olave's a senior. I think Wilson is a 2001. Let me just double check it right now. Chris Olave.
Brandon Ayuk is not a drop candidate, by the way, Sebastian. There's probably nobody on the waiver wire that's going to be as valuable as Brandon Ayuk. Samuel came back from IR, so now I got to drop one. Eli Mitchell, Trey Sermon, Javonte Williams, Cortland Sutton, or Curtis Samuel. Who do you drop out of this group?
Let me see.
Like, I'm keeping the Broncos for sure.
Yeah.
It's got to be a toss-up between one of the Niners running backs and Curtis Samuel. But I honestly, I'd probably just drop Samuel as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Logan Thomas is out though.
Logan Thomas is out, but like you still got Terry taking up a good amount of targets in that. Like I'd rather have maybe once you can see how it goes this week with Elijah Mitchell. Maybe if Elijah Mitchell is, I think what I would do if I were you is try and make a 2-for-1 trade if you can. Try and package like Trey Sermon and Cortland Sutton and try and get like a better running back or something like that.
Yeah, no, I agree there. Lost my first game of the season this week. Played Lockett instead of Debo. Rip. I mean, like, you can't fault the process there. I think the process would have dictated, like, start Lockett. It's just unfortunate the way it ended up. So,
I think Lockett was a good sell high candidate after week 2.
Yeah. Rank Corey Davis, Claypool, Higgins rest of the season. I will have them in the order of Higgins versus Claypool. So, Higgins, Claypool, Davis.
Yeah, they're all kind of like borderline top 30 receivers, I would say, is probably around the range that I would have them.
The reason why Higgins over Claypool,
I'd take Higgins over Claypool though too.
Yeah, because at least Joe Burrow doesn't look complete toast. Like Big Ben fucking sucks. He reeks.
Yeah, it's gonna be Haskins time soon.
Johnny Ertz, Komet. Is it crazy if I say Zach Ertz here?
No, I would take Mike Gesicki. As long as Jacoby Brissett's starting, it looks like Mike Gesicki's his dude. So I'm gonna take Mike Gesicki.
Yeah,
Devontae Parker ripped a second touchdown out of Mike Gesicki's hands. Do you see that?
Yeah. Is Gainwell worth a third overall waiver wire ad?
I'd say so. I'd
PPR,
I'd imagine like I'd rather have probably
Williams
Pirine or Damian Williams if they're available. But outside of those two guys, I think Gainwell's probably the next in line.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel I can't get into college football in Indiana. Yeah, fact.
I mean, the Hoosiers have been pretty good for the last couple of years, though.
Ooh, Nathan. I got to take that Ohio State slander right out here, or Michigan slander right out here. I think we get it done this year. Honestly, like bias aside, I know Ohio State's going to be a very good team, but to be fair, Ohio State's looking the worst that they've looked in recent memory. I mean, we knew how good they were with Fields. I didn't expect Michigan to take a game from them, and Michigan's edge rush has been phenomenal this year with Ojabo and Hutchinson coming. Like, Hutchinson's probably going to be a top 5 to 10 pick. Like, I genuinely think our defensive line can play well. Obviously, the big concern here is Ohio State, whenever they spread us out and pick us out on man, like, it's just been an absolute nightmare because all they run is fucking crossers and have guys like Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin, and fucking Paris Campbell absolutely torch us. But, I mean, Michigan's defense been playing well. It's just, I don't know. I want to say Michigan because I think they've looked better so far, but at the end of the day here, Ohio State might just be in their heads.
True. I don't really care, but sure.
Sell
or keep Cordarrelle Patterson. Sell.
Value. Yeah, depends on value.
Depends on value. If nobody's willing to give you anything for him, then don't. But I sold his ass a week too early. I sold him last week because I'm like, oh, he's going to get 30% of the snaps this week, which was fucking true. But he also caught 3 touchdowns. So I was a little early on that because if I waited, I could have sold him for something a lot better than Nelson Aguilar, which is what I sold him for last week.
Yeah. Whole PPR, by the way, yes, sir. Did we read it? Yeah. Okay, Gesicki. Exactly. And the Giants will probably have 2 top 10 picks. Imagine if this team has a good lineman or 2. Also, I'm on pace to get the first pick and could have Hall, ETN, and Saquon. Yeah, like you're definitely really chilling there.
Is Breece Hall still the RB1?
I was about to say I'd be interested to see like the debate by the end of the year between Breece Hall and like Isaiah Spiller because apparently Isaiah Spiller's been phenomenal.
He's looked good. Yeah, I watched a bit of their games.
I mean, compared to last year, I think like this is.
I think somebody's gonna Javonte Williams though. I think somebody's gonna do it this year. I don't know who it's gonna be. Like somebody's gonna come out of nowhere and be like phenomenal. I don't know who it's gonna be. Maybe it's like isn't the Gray kid getting some love too?
Yeah, he's good.
I can't. I honestly like. I don't follow college football all that closely. I get into college football in the draft process like once the season is over, pretty much.
By the way, side note: get ready for Blake Corum in 2023.
Who's that?
Michigan running back. It looked good.
Oh God, Michigan running back Chris Evans alert.
mean,
Gibson and Pollard for Najee, 14-man full PPR. Did I win? I'd rather have Gibson and Pollard in a 14-man. Gives
Yeah.
you some more depth.
Thanks, boys. Anytime they're bull buy. Gibson, Debo for Kamara, good deal. In a 10 team, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd take that, I think. So, okay, so I'm firing this trade offer out right now. I'm 100% going to do this, I think. Javonte Williams and Antonio Gibson for Alvin Kamara. I'm sending the trade offer over.
Yep, easy money.
But you know what's funny is like, so I won the league last year, right? And the trade that got me Alvin Kamara was trading a struggling rookie running back and an already established running back for Alvin Kamara. I traded Antonio Gibson and Joe Mixon for Alvin Kamara last year.
Yeah, no, that's
so
dope.
I mean, it's possible that I pull the same shit again.
Yep, Brock loved that. Or Brock definitely true. Sorry, I didn't even read it for a second. My bad. Who downed the clown? What? Wait, what?
Who downed a clown? Yeah,
downed a
Who downed the clown? Did I read that right?
Who
I think
downed
so.
the clown?
Who downed the
know.
clown?
What kind of player could I get for Higgins and CEH?
Go for a struggling elite receiver.
Yeah, either that or you could maybe go for Najee Harris with that.
Yep.
The
Maybe
stadium is full of black and silver.
Oh,
You love to
Brock,
see it.
don't get us started with Brian Robinson, Brock.
Oh,
Oh,
God,
Brian Robinson.
Anytime that
Okay.
when I was watching all 22, the Ole Miss game last year, watching Najee Harris, I'm like, this other running back on Alabama is trash.
He's
This guy
fucking
sucks.
dog piss.
He is so bad, man. Oh
Man,
man,
this is
I don't know how Alabama, like running back factory Alabama, can actually recruit a guy like that and literally like just play him.
Yeah, that guy. I don't get it either.
Man, I accidentally drafted him instead of Bijan.
Yeah, true.
Dude.
How confident are you in Swift locked and loaded top
Wait,
12? Yeah, 100% locked and loaded top 12 guy for me.
I know this isn't the basis for efficiency, don't get me wrong, but we're talking about a senior running back averaging 5.2 yards per carry behind the Bama line.
They quite literally might have the best player in college football on their offensive line. Which other wide receiver one could I trade D-Hop for? Kind of losing trust a bit.
Diggs.
I don't want to trade DeAndre Hopkins right now. I think you're going to need to wait for a big game for
think
if you
Diggs
want to
for
move
it,
off
though.
him. I think maybe you could get it done for Diggs. I would rather have Diggs than Hopkins if you can pull that off, then yeah. But I don't want to like trade down and go from like Hopkins to Ridley or something like that. Like I would need something better than that. Spiller's a baller. If only we would run the ball more. Oh, sounds like we got an A&M fan here.
Spiller's sick.
Yeah. All right. So the game is actually on right now. So we're gonna head off of here. Go Raiders. They're my closet second team outside of the Jets.
Closet second team.
Yeah. Just
I
win,
gotta
baby.
drive to
Poster
Guelph,
right
man.
behind me, right above my thumb.
I gotta drive to Guelph. Fuck.
True. All right. Take it easy. Thanks for joining us.
See ya.